After 11 years, Chris Pollone is leaving Alabama's 13 News. We're not happy about that. He's not just leaving us, he's moving out of state and headed to the Big Apple, New York City.
I feel like we did something wrong. Chris joins us now. Chris, we're sure there's a lot of things that you're going to miss about the amazing state that we call home, most likely us, right?
Well, it's only been 11 years. I finally figured out whether I liked it here or not, but I've spent nearly a third of my life here in Alabama. I always told people I'm still doing this because I can't think of anything else I'd rather do. I come from an area that's extremely passionate about sports and couldn't have ended up in a more like-minded place. The love of sports is one of the things that I'll miss about Alabama.
Now, Alabama's 13 sports.
Just 2 games left on the regular season schedule for the Alabama Crimson.
What better place for a certified sports nut to end up than Birmingham, Alabama, the football capital of the South? I arrived here in the fall of 2000, smack dab in the middle of Iron Bowl week, and I quickly learned that there are rivalries, and then there are rivalries.
Here come the Auburn Tigers.
I think I truly understand the passion between Alabama and Auburn fans because for all of my life, I've lived and breathed baseball's greatest rivalry as a Red Sox fan who absolutely hates the Yankees. And now for 11 years, I've had the pleasure of witnessing college football's greatest rivalry, spending many gorgeous fall Saturdays in the idyllic towns of Auburn and Tuscaloosa. I loved everything about covering the SEC, the tailgating, the traditions, and of course, the best college football in the country. For the past decade, I've watched young men make magic on the gridiron, guys like Trent Richardson and Mark Ingram, Julio Jones and Emory Blake. I had a front row press box seat to watch the best college player of my lifetime, Cam Newton. When I first saw him, I thought he played like one of my college idols, Donovan McNabb. I was wrong. Newton was better, much better. On a week-to-week basis, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. As his personal life crashed down around him, Newton kept smiling and kept winning. I'll never forget that year. There aren't many television reporters who can say they've covered back-to-back national champions and back-to-back Heisman Trophy winners. I'm one of the fortunate few. The 2009 Crimson Tide season was magical. There were times when the Tide was good, and then there were times when the Tide was lucky.
Blocked again! Cody again! Oh my! Alabama wins!
It was amazing to see Alabama fans celebrate their first championship appearance since 1993. I remember thinking that if my career ended that day sitting on the 50-yard line at the Rose Bowl with the gorgeous San Gabriel Mountains in the distance, watching Alabama and Texas play for the national championship was the right way to go out. After the game, confetti raining down on me, I interviewed jubilant Tide players who had reached the apex of their sport. I felt like I had reached the apex of mine. I reached down and grabbed a handful of confetti and shoved it in my bag so I would always remember. I had no way of knowing that 1 year later I'd be doing the exact same thing. I have a handful of confetti from Auburn's national championship, too. After all, you never know which national championship will be your last. Of course, college football is the biggest part of our sports coverage in Central Alabama, but it's not the only thing. In my time here, I've done stories on figure skating, hockey, SEC baseball, high school football, college basketball, and IndyCar racing. Sundays in April and October were reserved for Talladega. Standing next to that track, watching those cars fly by at 200 miles per hour, just inches from each other, gave me an amazing amount of appreciation for those drivers and their crews. I always enjoyed going to Hoover to see the Barons, watching minor league stars try to make major league dreams come true.
Speed the hell out of you!
In Alabama, sports is a passion, sometimes a little too much passion, but too much passion in sports is much better than apathy. I loved having a front row seat for it all, and no matter where I live, I'll always miss Alabama for its sports.
And I've certainly seen some amazing things over the last 11 years. It's going to hurt when I have to reach into my pocket and pull out some money and actually pay for a ticket and sit among the people instead of in the press box and enjoy myself on the 50-yard line every week.
You know what I hope for you in sports, down the road, whether you cover it or not, hope Syracuse wins a national championship. They'll win basketball.
That would be fantastic.
Like see them win
I just want them to
football.
be relevant again.
I know, but maybe someday I'm going to smile if I'm sitting in a nursing home someday and I read that Syracuse won the national championship.
Yeah, you definitely be in a nursing home when that happens.
No, maybe not.
We'll give you a call.
And we'll have stories every night this week on different things that you'll miss.